Oh, hello, Alex Damon. I thought I told you this was the Flouse Class League. And you can refer to me as the Demon Slayer. That's so good. I'm good with nicknames.
We love to celebrate legends. We love to see champions become immortal. And now we can see the future stars of tomorrow. We get to see the next generation of elite movie trivia players. And we all get a first-class seat.
The First Class League is absolutely the next giant step in the evolution of the Schmoedown.
And the First Class League is where the future superstars are born, where the future of swag is born.
The First Class League is everything in the future of the Schmoedown.
I'm not in the business of sitting here trying to tell all these other dicky-do managers who I got my eye on, but I got my eye on the FCL.
And we're going to be able to see, oh, we could groom this person, or look at all these people flying first class.
The First Class League is really important to the development of Schmoedown players.
You don't want to miss it. You want to see the birth of what will be the best of the best.
The First Class League is going to shape what all future drafts and free agency signings in the Schmoedown look like from here on out.
You better believe that that is going to be the first place I look when I think about who I want to be added to the stars, who I want on my faction.
We're going to find the next crop of rookies in the First Class League.
There's a slew of players that could come into the majors right now and do damage.
We got Jared Habon, we got David Campbell, we got Cinefanatics.
Rick Hong, the Ghost, Gallego. These guys were trained in the dungeon, so they already know how to play.
Brad Gilmore and Steph Sabra together. I don't know if there are two more suited people to bring up a new generation and a new class of competitors that are gonna kick butt.
Good people running it. And when good people run things, you get good things. Hence, like my life.
You literally could be watching the person that dethrones Dan Murrell as the GOAT watching the First Class League.
The First Class League, I'm telling you, Den Mama's going to be watching.
We're going to get to see them from their very first match in the First Class League all the way till they make some belts.
I can't wait to see who comes out of it, and I can't wait to see who comes to the Schmoedown this year, next year, every year.
And, if anybody does bad on my team, which I don't think they will, they get kicked off and we'll draft somebody from the First Class League.
It's maybe, some would even say, the very best idea the Movie Trivia Schmoedown has had since we got new belt polish.
First Class League, every single Tuesday. Who knows? One day, you may be looking at him and talking about Swag Squad. Drip, drip.
Hello, everybody, and welcome to FCL5. My name is the Boat, Brad Gilmore, and I am joined by the one and only Steph Sabra.
Brad, we're back again for another Tuesday. Some exciting matches. I can't wait to get into it. How are you doing?
Yo, I'm feeling good. I'm feeling great, actually. I'm feeling great. This is FCL5. We're 5 weeks in. We have a bunch of matches for you, or 2 matches, but great matches for you today. Coming off of what we saw last week, Vanessa and Robert, both members of Late to the Party, were successful in their FCL debuts, and we have a lot in store for them this week. But let's talk about it last week, Steph. I mean, how great were those 2 contests we saw from Late to the Party?
So good. It was cool to see 2 members of separate teams play in separate matches and both come out victorious in 2 really great close matches. She really excited me, though. The more that I thought about it, the more that I was like, she killed that, and was such a fun watch from start to finish. Watching how emotional she got at the end was what this is all about, having fun and new beginnings for her in this league. So that one really took the cake for me.
Yeah, it was a great moment. I love seeing the real, genuine reactions and the emotions on display, and I'm sure that we're going to see more of them today. And we have a bunch of announcements for you later today about what you can expect from the FCL in the future. But let's talk about this first match that we're going to be seeing. We're going to see the return of the Scream Queen herself, Kalyn Corrigan, taking on sinister James Shimo. Both these people are characters. I've been seeing the promos going back and forth, battling back with the war of words. Steph Sabra. We've kind of gotten to talk to them a little bit before we started. They both seem to be locked, loaded, and ready to go. What is your assessment of both of them prior to today's match?
Well, I think Shimo is serving some Zemo's long lost twin vibes to me, and he is cracking me up with his character. And I think that is going to be a really good mixture with Kalyn, because Kalyn is, she's so sweet, but she knows her stuff and she has the experience. And I love how she's not just into horror. She's a cinephile. So I'm excited to see what she does in the range of movies here today against Shimo, who is going to be surely fun to watch.
Yeah, I'm excited to see both of them. And before we take a look at this opening promo, also got a shout out to Jake Yacovetta, gifting 20 subs. 20 subs, Jake Yacovetta. Appreciate you, my man. Former Pearland resident. Shout out to Jake Yacovetta in the chat. Always showing love. Of course, Action Army in the building. But let's take a look at where we are, how we got to this moment between Kalyn Corrigan and James Shimo. Let's take it away to our promotional video right now.
Hi, hello everybody, Kalyn Corrigan here. I am so excited to be competing again. It has been far too long.
Kalyn Corrigan versus James Shimo, or as I like to put it, the forgotten Scream Queen versus the forgotten fan leaguer.
It has been a long year, and I have spent most of that year watching way too many movies, watching more movies than the human mind can handle, and I'm excited to finally put all that knowledge to good use.
By everyone going, who's this guy? There's no way he can be any good. I've never even heard of him. I became the X Factor. I became the one that no one could prepare for. That makes me dangerous.
Yes, I am the Scream Queen. Yes, I know all there is to know about horror, and I can whoop you on that, but I'm also a cinephile. I love film of all genres. I love old films, I love new films, black and white, color, I love everything.
Kalyn Corrigan, she is one of those young kids running down the hill in that opening to Little House on the Prairie.
I'm excited to meet my opponent, Mr. James Shimo. You say you're sinister, James Shimo. I'll be the judge of that as the Scream Queen.
Unbeknownst to those children, a sinister serpent lies in wait just below that grass.
I'm so excited to be a part of First Class League. It's an honor. I'm hoping that I can step in there and make you guys proud, make you root for me, and I'm coming for the belt.
Omaiwa Moshinderu. Welcome to the chaos.
I'm excited to get in there and battle you, friend. Get ready, get your shine box, because Kalyn Corrigan's coming to town and she's coming to shake things up.
And we're back here on FCL5. Brad Gilmore with Steph Sabra, and we saw the two of them going at it. They're ready to go. So, Steph, I think that we don't waste any more time. The people came here to see some matches, see some action. I think that we go ahead and bring them in. What do you think?
I think you're absolutely right, Brad.
Let's do it. Let's do it right now. Introducing first, making a return to the movie Trivia Schmoedown universe. Ladies and gentlemen, make some noise for the Scream Queen, Kalyn Corrigan! And there she is joining us right now. Kalyn, how are you?
Hello, I'm good. How are you guys?
We're great. Welcome back to professional movie trivia. Welcome back to the world of the movie trivia Schmoedown. It's been some time since we saw you last. What have you been up to, and are you excited to be back in this realm?
I'm so excited. I have, like I said in my video, I've been watching so many movies. I have watched this time to not only rewatch things, but watch movies that I missed in the first place. So I'm really excited to finally put that knowledge to good use.
Kalyn, that is the part that really excited me, because you are known for horror, but you said that you use this year wisely watching movies. And I got a call to your name, Scream Queen. Do you intend on making your opponent scream today?
I do. I mean, I don't want to embarrass him too much, but I'll try to end it quick.
Oh, there we go. There we go. End it quick, not slow and painful. Kalyn, we're excited to see you back here in the Schmoedown universe, and we'll see how it all shapes out for you today on FCL. Thank you very much. And you know what? Before we bring in Kalyn's opponent, we also want to say S. Marcy for gifting a sub. Thank you. Random Rocker 1989, love the Twitter handle, or love the handle. He also gifted a subscription. So thank you to everybody who's been doing that so far. But let's bring in her opponent. From parts unknown, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the First Class League. He is Sinister James Shimo. And there he is, the sinister man, James Shimo.
Sinister song.
Very, very menacing, very ominous. Talk to me. What has brought you to the First Class League, Sinister James Shimo? I think you are muted.
Yeah,
very sinister.
Now,
there he is.
Oh, trust me, there's nothing mute about me, Brad. Trust me. But what brought me here to the FCL, what brought me here was a love of movie trivia, a love of films of all genres, and an absolute passion for purging just the absolute mediocrity from the movie trivia Schmoedown. That is what I'm here to do, because let's face it, everyone here has earned their spot. There's no denying that, but there is only one man in FCL who deserves to not only run the table here, but to make his way to the big dance. And you're looking at him.
Shimo, you talked about having the X Factor in your promo video. For example, Brad's X Factor is probably his hair. What components of your X Factor are you bringing to the table today and in this league?
Yes, his hair certainly is. Makes him look like Mike Rome's twin brother. But in this case, my X Factor is simply this. So many people, so many personalities in the Schmoedown are big and loud and boisterous. Not me. No. I stay quiet. I keep myself under the radar. I don't make a spectacle, because when you do, you make yourself a target. See, when you don't make yourself a target, nobody pays attention. And when they don't pay attention, that's when you cut them off at the kneecaps. That is what I bring to the FCL. And that is why the unpredictability, the chaos factor is what I bring and what is going to serve me the best here in FCL.
Okay, well, thank you, James. We're looking forward to seeing you play here momentarily. Also want to give a shout out to, I'm going to do my best to say this name, Takarata Kanchi? Takarata Kanchi? Maybe?
I love the way you said that, Brad.
I'm trying. I'm doing my best. That's all that can be expected of me. I'm doing my best. So thank you. Thank you for gifting the sub to the channel. So I believe we've heard from both competitors. We've seen the talk back and forth. So, Steph Sabra, there's only one thing left to say.
I know that's right, Brad. It's time to get classy, y'all.
All right, here we go. And the rules for round number 1 are as follows. Each player will receive 8 questions in 8 different categories here in the FCL universe. You will write your answers on the whiteboard, and you will speak and reveal your answer that you have written whenever we finish our countdown. Each correct answer is worth 1 point, and you will have 3 question repeats, also known affectionately as the JTE rule, and you have 1 challenge per the match. Those are the rules for round number 1. Kalyn, are you familiar with the rules, and are you ready to go?
I'm ready.
James?
Let the chaos begin.
Well, it's time for the FCL. Here we are, round number 1, question number 1. Here's your first question in the realm of action-adventure. Mel Gibson plays peaceful farmer Benjamin Martin, who is driven to lead the colonial militia during the American Revolution in this 2000 film.
Kalyn, Kalyn went straight to the board. I'm excited to see how this match unfolds between these two. Will chaos unfold today, Brad?
I don't know. Repeat the question?
Mm-hmm.
All right. That is your first one. You have 2 remaining. The category is action adventure. Mel Gibson plays a peaceful farmer, Benjamin Martin, who is driven to lead the colonial militia during the American Revolution in this 2000 film. Yeah, James talking real sinisterly. Yeah, I don't appreciate the shot. I mean, I don't know if he is aware, but, I can make things happen. We can go the easy way. We can go the hard way, Steph Sabra. It's gonna be up to him, but we need to answer in 3, 2, 1, and let's start with James.
That would be the Patriot.
Patriot is correct. Kalyn.
The Patriot.
Patriot is correct. 1-1. Both perfect still.
Kalyn pulls that out even with the JTE. Way to go, 1-1 as we move to question number 2 in the category of directors. Who directed the Academy Award nominated 2010 drama, The Social Network?
I was a big fan of this movie. I think it actually was like number 1 on a lot of people's top 10 list of the decade.
I know. Justin Timberlake, though, I can never not see him as that character moving forward.
And
3, 2, 1. Shimo, we go to you first.
Pretty sure I got this one wrong. Was it Darren Aronofsky?
That is incorrect. Kalyn, we go to you next.
David Fincher.
That is correct. We were looking for David Fincher.
David
Kalyn
Fincher.
goes up 1 point.
Awesome. So 2-1. Kalyn still has the opportunity for that perfect game, but we will see how this round plays out. Category number 3, your third question in the category of comedies. Reese Witherspoon stars as the sorority queen Elle Woods, which follows an ex-boyfriend to Harvard Law School to prove him wrong and figures out there's far more to her than just looks in this 2001 comedy.
Usually I would say chase checks, not men, but if you get into Harvard while doing so, I'd say that's an okay route.
Get into Harvard? What? Like it's hard? And we need an answer in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and we go to Kalyn.
Legally Blonde.
Legally Blonde is correct. James.
Legally Blonde.
Legally Blonde is correct. Great movie. Wasn't fan of the sequel, but love the first one.
The first one is a classic, and I'm so glad you quoted it correctly, Brad. We move to question number 4 in the category of dramas. This 1990 biographical crime drama is directed by Martin Scorsese and features Ray Liotta as mob associate Henry Hill.
Don't tap your last season shoes at me, honey. All right. Such a fan of that movie.
Another great quote, Brad.
Just a great move. It's a great move.
It really is a feel good. We need an answer in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Shimo, we go to you first.
As far back as I can remember, I always wanted to be a gangster. Goodfellas.
That is correct. Kalyn, what do you have?
Goodfellas.
2, another point.
All right. Kalyn's still perfect here. As we get into the 5th question, fantasy science fiction. Bruce Willis, Mila Jovovich, and Gary Oldman star in this 1997 film set in the 23rd century, revolving around a strange woman and an unwitting cab driver who get entangled in the search for a legendary cosmic weapon to keep evil at bay.
I mean, talk about a synopsis.
That was a question. PLD, you make sure I'm earning my money on that one. Holy moly. Repeat the question. Oh, thank you, Kalyn. I appreciate that. Bruce Willis, Mila Jovovich, and Gary Oldman star in this 1997 film set in the 23rd century, revolving around a strange woman and an unwitting cab driver who get entangled in the search for a legendary cosmic weapon to keep evil at bay.
Kalyn still with the perfect score.
Yeah, and we will see if these JTE rule repeats. It worked for the last time. We'll see if she gets the answer on this one, and we need to answer in 5, 4. Repeat the question again. Okay, that is your last one. a category of fantasy science fiction. Here we go again. Bruce Willis, Mila Jovovich, and Gary Oldman star in this 1997 film set in the 23rd century, revolving around a strange woman and an unwitting cab driver who get entangled in the search for a legendary cosmic weapon to keep evil at bay.
Do you think Jada Pinkett Smith took entangled from this question when she was talking about her entanglement?
She may have gotten it. She knew PLD. She heard this entanglement, and that's where we got it. We need an answer. I'm sorry. In 3, 2, 1, and we go to James. Pins down, and we go to James.
The Fifth Element.
The Fifth Element is correct. Kalyn.
The name would not come to me. I wrote Lulu Dallas Multipass.
Yes, it was. It was The Fifth Element. The Fifth Element, and James ties the game on that one as we get to the 6th question.
Question number 6 in the category of 1970s. What sequel to an Academy Award-winning Best Picture was released in 1974 and was directed by Francis Ford Coppola?
See both players intensely writing. Oscars, a relevant topic right now. Did you like the Oscars? Yes or no? Did we like them?
Did I like 3/4 of it? Yes. The last quarter.
And we need an answer now. I believe starting off with Kalyn.
Godfather Part 2.
That
is correct. And we move to Shimo.
Godfather Part 2.
Both right on question number 6 as we move to question number 7.
I'm with you on that 3/4 of the way thing with the Oscars. Here we go. Question number 7. Famous actors and actresses. Which famous comedian provides the voice for the infamous cat Garfield in both Garfield the movie and Garfield, A Tale of Two Kitties?
Brad, really important question for you. Cat or dog guy?
Can I say both? Is that okay? I have
can.
Both. I have both. So I go both ways, I guess. We need an answer in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and that's going to live on the internet forever. We're going to go to James first.
Somehow, despite these terrible movies, his career has lived on. Bill Murray.
Bill Murray. Bill Murray is correct. Bill Murray is correct. And Kalyn.
Bill Murray.
Bill Murray's right. All right, last question in round number 1. Steph Sabra, take it away.
Question number 8 in the category of franchises. Which famous wrestler appears as Thunderlips, a wrestling champion who fights Rocky Balboa in a charity event in 1982's Rocky III?
Love this movie. My favorite of the Rocky series, mainly for the reason behind this question.
Wow.
Love this moment as a wrestling fan. Yeah.
We need an answer in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Pens down. Pens down. We go to Shimo first.
Well, let me tell you something, Steph Sabra. It's Hulk Hogan.
Oh, with the quote. That is correct. And we move to Kalyn next.
I don't have it.
Oh, doesn't have it. It is okay. 7-6 is how round number 1 ends. We're looking for Hulk Hogan, the immortal Hulk Hogan. We are going here to round number 2 here momentarily. Want to thank everybody again in the chat who are watching this live. Make sure you share it on your social media pages. Go share it on Facebook. Do what you have to do in order for everyone to watch FCL while it's live. Now, to set the stage here, James has a 1-point advantage. He has all 3 of his JTEs left. Kalyn, 6 points. Great showing in the first round. Used all 3 of the JTEs. She will have none for the remainder of the game. We'll see if that comes into play, Steph. But what is your assessment of these 2 players thus far?
Really close. I think that there's advantages on one end and then there's disadvantages on the other end moving into round 2. But I do think that these are 2 really equal competitors moving into round 2 in terms of knowledge.
Yeah, they seem to be evenly matched. So let's get into that second round. And we know this as the wheel round. And the rules for round number 2 are as follows. Each competitor spins the category wheel. You can respin the category wheel once. Unless it lands on opponent's choice, you will get 1 mulligan. The competitor will get 4 questions from that category. questions will be worth 2 points unless you opt to go to multiple choice. Then the value drops down to 1 point. Competitors will have 15 seconds to answer each question, and opponents may steal in this round if a competitor gives an incorrect answer. If you get the answer incorrect, we will pause for a moment. We will ask the same question again to your opponent, who will then have the opportunity to steal. The challenges and repeats are still in effect for round number 2, and we get back to our competitors here. James, you have the lead currently with a 1-point advantage. Do you want to spin first, or do you want to defer to Kalyn?
Well, a gentleman always says ladies first. Thankfully, that doesn't apply to me. Let's spin the darn thing.
Oh man, spicy. He
went one way and went the other way.
I know, they shouldn't call him sinister. They should call him spicy. Man, he's a little spicy. Okay, James, we're going to let you spin first, so let's give the wheel a go. Or let's give it a whirl. Excuse me. Let's give the wheel a whirl. I'm sorry. I almost left you hanging on that one. And it's going to land on horror. I have to think about this when you have 15 seconds to decide.
A part of me wants to prove that I can beat Kalyn at her own game. But where would the fun be in that? Spin it again.
All right, we're going to give the wheel a second go around, so let's give that wheel a whirl. I didn't forget it this time. I got you.
We know that is Kalyn's strength, so.
And he knows too, and that's why he's spinning.
Yeah, good strategy there, and your wheel lands on musicians in film. So you're going to get 4 questions in the category of musicians in film, and I will be asking your second round questions. So as we pull these up, musicians in film, this is the first time we're seeing this in the FCL. So we will see how James Shimo does in this one. All right, James, are you ready?
Let's do this.
All right. For your first question in the category musicians in film, Grammy award-winning singer, songwriter, and producer Pharrell Williams provided the voice of the narrator in this 2018 Illumination animation film.
The Grinch.
The Grinch is correct for 2 points. 2 points, James. Solid answer right there. Goes up 9-6 as we go to your second question.
Didn't love the 2018 Grinch, but I love Pharrell Williams.
Yeah. Star Trek Forever.
But 5 didn't like that movie.
We will go to your second question in the category musicians in film. Jennifer Hudson won an Academy Award for Best Supporting Actress for this 2006 musical drama.
Dreamgirls.
Dreamgirls is right. Dreamgirls is correct. J HUD won for that one. Dreamgirls, another good movie.
Miss Effie White would be proud.
That's right. There you go, Steph. As we get to your third question in the realm of musicians in film. This Love the Way You Lie singer is featured as a hacker 9-ball in the 2018 heist film Ocean's 8.
Rihanna.
Rihanna's correct. Rihanna is correct. He's gone perfect thus far. Excuse me for misreading that question. Oh, the guy love Riri. And let's see if he can continue to work through this category.
God, yes. God, yes.
As we go to, you don't want to see me at karaoke if that song comes on. As we go to your last question in the realm of musicians in film. Bad Teacher is a 2011 comedy starring Cameron Diaz, Jason Segel, and this musician who plays Scott Delacorte, a wealthy substitute teacher whom Diaz's Elizabeth is interested in.
Justin Timberlake.
2020 experience and perfect in the round is James Shimo. Musicians in film worked out in his favor, 15-6. Steph, that was very impressive. I got to admit.
That was a great round too, with an eclectic mix of answers and range. So I'm really impressed with that.
Yeah, I wonder what out of those musicians, which one do you think is James's personal favorite? I mean, is he jamming Riri, or is he a JT guy?
The Shimo we see on screen today is absolutely jamming the entire Grinch soundtrack from start to finish as he wakes up and starts his day.
You know what? I think you're right about that. Well, now it is Kalyn's turn for the wheel. So let's bring the wheel back up here. Kalyn, are you ready?
I'm ready.
All right. Well, now let us give the wheel a whirl. Let's do it. I feel like I should be an honorary member at this point. I'm giving you all a lot of love.
You definitely are and will be even more so.
Okay. And here we go. And it lands on horror. Are you going to keep horror, or would you like to spin again?
Yeah, I'll take it.
Okay. No surprise there. In the category of horror, we're going to give you 4 questions in that category. They will be administered by Steph. So, Steph, whenever you are ready, we will do horror. Oh,
that's the thing about this wheel. It can land on your strengths or your weaknesses. Today, we are landing on horror, which, as we know, is the Scream Queen's strength. So, Kalyn, for your first question in round number 2. This 1988 horror film follows a widowed mother who gives her son a doll possessed by the soul of a serial killer.
Child's Play.
That is correct, without even a second to guess that answer. And we move to question number 2 in round number 2 for Kalyn. Which film in the Alien franchise is directed by David Fincher?
Alien.
I actually don't see a timer on screen, but there we go.
Alien 3.
That is correct. Alien 3 is exactly what we were looking for. Kalyn pulled that out as we move to question number 3 in round number 2. So far, perfect question 1 and 2 answered by Kalyn. For your third question, which is the only Halloween film that does not feature the main series antagonist, Michael Myers?
Halloween 3.
Halloween 3 is correct, and she is showing why she is the Scream Queen, because there is not even a second before when I ask the question when she answers it. And we move to your next question, Kalyn, in a so far perfect round number 2. Stanley Kubrick directed this 1980 Stephen King adaptation starring Jack Nicholson and Shelley Duvall.
The Shining.
The Shining, and you are shining, girl, in this round. Love to see it. Round number 2, perfect for both competitors.
Wow, perfect for both competitors. James still holding on to that 1 point, but we see, that in that Alien question, it could have come back to bite Kalyn that she didn't have those extra JTE rules, any more repeats, but she was able to pull the answer before the clock struck 0, before the clock struck midnight, if you will, and a perfect round, Steph. And we have just 1 point separating these two. Third and final round, obviously they're both equally in knowledge. I don't see anyone really with the great advantage other than the numbers on James' side.
Yeah, the number and the JTE rules that were used up in round number 1 by Kalyn, but she didn't need them in round number 2, and she might not need them in round number 3. As we know, anything can happen in round 3, so it just really depends what questions are asked and if they can answer them. I'm excited to see what happens next, though.
All right, well, why don't we get to it right now? Let us get to round number 3 and the rules for our third and final round in our first match of our 2-match card here on FCL5 are as follows. Each competitor will pick 3 numbers between 1 and 20, and those 3 numbers will correspond to 3 separate categories. Each competitor gets 3 questions. Questions are worth 2, 3, and 5 points respectively. Competitors will have 15 seconds to answer each question. There is no stealing or multiple choice in this round. You can still use your JTE rules, and you can still challenge a question if you deem so. So if those are the rules for round number 3. James is in the lead. Let us get these 3 numbers from James. James, what are your 3 numbers?
I will go the number of Ric Flair's world title reigns, which is 16. The number of the greatest faction in the history of pro wrestling, the 4 Horsemen. And 9 for the record number of Intercontinental Championships reigns in the WWE.
Okay, well, look at that. Very specific
I guess
numbers.
he's kind of a fan of the WWE.
He slightly might be a wrestling connoisseur and or fanatic. We will, I guess, find out. And Kalyn, what are your 3 numbers?
I will do 7, 13, and 17.
7, 13, and 17. Okay, so Kalyn, you are down by 1 point. You're down by 1 point. And your first number was the number 7. The number 7. That corresponds to the category of biopics. Biopics. And for your 2-point question in the realm of biopics, Steph will be asking you your 2-point question. So, Steph, whenever you are ready.
In the category of biopics, your first question, Kalyn. This 2015 biopic features Ice Cube's real-life son, O'Shea Jackson Jr., playing the rapper as it documents the rise and fall of the NWA.
Oh, I know this movie.
Need an answer in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Straight out of Compton.
Did she say it?
Yeah, she did.
Did we say it in time? Okay, Dwayne's giving me a thumbs up. Paul's giving me a thumbs up. She said it in time. Yes, that is correct for 2 points.
Straight Outta Compton, a great movie. I'm glad that you were able to pull that out, Kalyn, in her first question in round number 3.
Oh, wow. Crazy pull right there at the last second. And see, here's the thing. The JTE rules, like you said, Steph, that's where they really could have come into play for Kalyn to give her that extra 15 seconds to think about it again. But she had to shoot from the hip. She got it. So now we bounce over to James. James, you are now down by 1 point, sir. And you selected the category 16 for Ric Flair's world title reigns. You could also say John Cena's world title reigns. And that is the category of Oscars. Oscars. And here we go for your 2-point question. Which movie won the very first Oscar for Best Animated Film?
Finding Nemo.
Finding Nemo is incorrect. Finding Nemo is incorrect. We are looking for Shrek. Shrek is the answer. So now what that means is James has to now hit his 3 in order for it to bounce back to Kalyn. And James, for your 3-point category, you selected the greatest faction in your mind in wrestling history, the Four Horsemen, category 4, which corresponds to Harrison Ford. Harrison Ford. And your 3-point question in Harrison Ford. What is the proper name of Indiana Jones?
Dr. Henry Jones Jr.
Didn't even need the doctor, but we'll take it anyway. You got to give that man his shine if he earned that doctorate degree. That is correct. Henry Jones Jr., the answer that we were looking for your 3-point question. Now 18-16. Kalyn Corrigan is now going to hit her 3-pointer. And Steph, she chose number 13 of the Screen Queen, choosing number 13. And it just so happens that corresponds to the category of horror.
Wow.
It corresponds to the category of horror. Incredible.
So
incredible. So, Steph, whenever you're ready.
Kalyn, your next question in round 3 in the category of horror. Based on a short story by Clive Barker, this 1992 supernatural horror film stars Tony Todd as the titular character, who is the ghost of an artist and son of a slave who was murdered in the late 19th century for his relationship with the daughter of a wealthy white man.
Candyman.
That is correct. Candyman, a classic horror film indeed. She gets that. Next point.
Wow. Okay. 19-18. A lot of luck there in getting category 13. Ended up being horror, a strength of hers. So now this is where we are. We're going to ask James his 5-point question. If James gets it correct, it is Kalyn's turn again. And now Kalyn will be forced to answer her 5. If he gets it wrong, Kalyn Corrigan will win this match. So a lot of pressure going into this 5th for this 5-point question in the third and final round. James, you selected 9, number 9. And that corresponds, the number 9 corresponds to Tom Cruise. Tom Cruise movies. And your 5-point question in the realm of Tom Cruise movies. All right, and here it is. Who plays Rowdy Burns, the arch rival driver of Cole Trickle, played by Cruise in 1990's Days of Thunder? Need an answer in 5, 4, 3.
Would you kindly repeat the question?
Yes, sir. All right. For your 5-point question in the category of Tom Cruise, who plays Rowdy Burns, the arch rival driver of Cole Trickle, played by Cruise in 1990's Days of Thunder? We need an answer in 5, 4, 3, 2,
Repeat
1.
the question, please.
Yes, sir. The category of Tom Cruise. Category of Tom Cruise. Who plays Rowdy Burns, the arch rival driver of Cole Trickle, who's played by Tom Cruise, in 1990's Days of Thunder? And we need an answer in 5, 4, 3, 2.
I'll use the last one.
And that is your last one. That is your last JTE. Who plays Rowdy Burns, the arch rival of driver Cole Trickle, played by Tom Cruise in 1990's Days of Thunder? Five, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Val Kilmer. I have no idea.
And your winner, the Scream Queen, Kalyn Corrigan. Kalyn Corrigan pulls it off. We are looking for Michael Rooker. Michael Rooker was the answer. Incredible. She pulls it off right there, came down to the 5. James had the lead the entire way through. That third round, Steph, was what did it. As we've seen so many times here in the FCL, it can come down to that 5-point question. You can be playing phenomenally all the way through. As James was doing a sensational job, fantastic job. Had the lead after round number 1, had the lead after round number 2, and that 5-pointer just came back and bit him.
Yeah, I mean, this league is about luck, it's about knowledge, and it's about technique. Kalyn using her JTEs in the first round was an odd technique, but it worked, and moving into round 3, sometimes you just don't get questions that are in your realm. So I'm curious to hear from Shimo. Was it just that he had not seen Days of Thunder, or was it just one of those where you can't pull the answer? But that takes time in the league, and I'm definitely still excited to see what he does, because he had some incredible round 1 and round 2 and even round 3.
He absolutely did. And I'd like to hear a little bit from him as well. And then with Kalyn, though, having that, she's called the Scream Queen. We knew that horror was a strength of hers. Getting horror in the second round, obviously beneficial. Getting horror as her 3-point question to happen to pick the number 13, it lined up. That's where the luck comes in the game, but I don't want to diminish it at all. She has incredible movie knowledge, because I didn't know the answers to any of the questions that she was asked today, and she pulled it off. And here we go. I think that we're seeing perhaps somebody who could ascend to an FCL championship maybe here in the future with Kalyn Corrigan.
Absolutely. I mean, the girl's got range, and she said it in her promo video, and it took seeing her in her first match to really believe it. And I think everyone watching believes that. She wasn't lying. She spent this year in quarantine clearly watching films, and then horror being her baby really worked.
It absolutely did. So let's hear from her right now. Steph, you are going to talk to our winner for today, Miss Kalyn Scream Queen Corrigan. Take it away.
Kalyn Scream Queen. Oh my gosh, what a great first match and introduction into the FCL League. It was so exciting to watch you because you did use those JTEs in round one. How are you feeling now after your first victory?
Oh my god, I can't believe I won, honestly. I'm so thrilled.
It was such a great match, but let's talk about you using those 3 JTEs. Was there any part of round 2 or round 3 where you thinking, dang, I could really use a JTE on this question?
Yeah, I think specifically when the alien question came up, which sequel was it? I just knew in that moment it would have been really beneficial to have that, and I was like, that was probably super foolish of me to use that in the first round. I just knew that I know The Fifth Element. I've seen that movie 1,000 times, and for some reason the title would not come to me. And I was like, maybe if I just get 10 more seconds, it'll come. And all I kept thinking was Lulu Dallas Multipass.
And when Shimo was ahead by 1 point in round 2, moving into round 2, how did you keep yourself calm and contained and know that you could make up the points later?
Well, you know, for a guy that says that he doesn't want to do a lot of talking and he wants to sneak up on you, that seems like an awful lot of jaw flapping he was doing with all those threats. And maybe it's a case of big hat, no cattle. I mean, maybe he's a big talk, and it seemed like I was able to just keep my head down and stay focused and focus on the question at hand and not what he was trying to perpetrate. And I was able to zone in on that.
Big hat, no cattle. That's got to be the first time I've heard it, but I got to say I like it. Now that you've won your first match, is there any player that you're looking to take on next moving forward?
Oh man, maybe just from a friendly standpoint. I love Bibbs so much. William Viviani, if I got to compete against him, that'd be super fun. And of course, I don't believe she's active anymore, but I love watching Clark. She's so exciting, and she's such a good friend. I've always wanted to compete against her, even knowing she'd probably kick my butt, but it would be super fun.
Well, I don't know if anyone could just say that they can kick your butt after watching today. I think you are a hard person to beat after your performance today, but calling out Bibbs, one of the hot shots in the MTS, is a big one, and I would be excited to see that for sure. But Kalyn, I hope that you party tonight, and congratulations for such an epic first match. It was so great to meet you.
Thank you so much. It was so much fun. It was so lovely meeting you. Thank you.
Bye, Kalyn.
Wow, there you go. What is it? All hat, no cattle? Is that what
Big hat, no cattle, Brad.
Big hat, no cattle. That's how you know she's from Texas. Yes, absolutely. Love it. Love it. Love the smack talk going between the two players. And here's the thing. James Shimo, this was one of those guys who, when I saw that he was going to be a part of this league, and I got to see some of his work from just what I could find out about him, this is someone who I think a lot of people were excited to see. And for just cause. He came through, he showed up, he rocked the house, just didn't know Days of Thunder. That was the only thing that cost him this match, and that's the way that as they say, the old mop flop. It's the way that the game goes sometimes, not having that knowledge at the moment that you need it, but still, phenomenal play. So I'm interested to see, Steph, what he has to say, because he had a lot to say before the match. All right? Some of it I was digging, some of it, I wasn't feeling too much. But he had a lot to say.
Including your hair.
I mean, he was throwing shots. You know what I mean? I'll fire him right back. Twitter fingers is not me, but we'll see. We'll see what James has to say. So, Steph, it's all yours. Take it away.
James, you were a pleasure to watch from start to finish. We talk about how you did come in with a lot of talk. I know that you wanted to win and it didn't end the way you wanted, but how are you feeling now that your first match is over in this league?
The first hurdle is always the one you got to focus on. If you can get over that first one, you can keep going pretty good. Did I have a couple of stumbles today? Sure. Of course I did. We all go through life. We all hit a hiccup every once in a while. Just so happened mine today was Days of Thunder. It's just the way chaos giveth and chaos taketh away. And I can't, I could sit here and I could, lament and complain and say, her timer was off with one question, so she got a little extra work to work with. I could, say, I could come here and make all kinds of excuses, but that's not who I am. That's not what I'm about. What I am about is assessing where I went wrong and fixing the problem going forward. And that is exactly what I intend to do.
Shimo, I gotta say I appreciate that. You know, that is what this is about. The FCL League is about learning and getting better each and every week, and the types of players that are gonna look back at what their performance is and learn from them are the types of players that are going to be the ones winning these matches. But let's talk about let's talk about Days of Thunder. Was that one that you just a blind spot, or you just couldn't recall the correct answer?
No, it was certainly a blind spot. I will fully admit, I'll cop to it. I'm not ashamed to admit when I haven't seen a particular film, and Days of Thunder is one that just happens to have fallen under my radar. Have I heard of it? Certainly. It just hasn't crossed my desk yet. So, obviously, it's something I got to take care of, and now it's on the list. So, again, reassess, rebuild, get going again. That's all you got to do.
Well, I want to also discuss the relationship and the match between you and Kalyn today. There was moments where you were ahead, but it was really close between y'all each and every round, and then round 3 was the deciding factor. But we know that shots are being thrown at one another. How do you feel about Kalyn as an opponent in this league, seeing what she did tonight?
As an opponent in this league, she's definitely going to be one to keep an eye on. I mean, she's big. She has been to the big dance before, so I knew I couldn't come in here half-stepping. It just so happened, like I said, hit a couple of speed bumps on the way. So she's going to go far. There's absolutely no doubt about it. But while I'm here, I would like to address one thing, if I may.
Sure.
So, before this match, there were a couple of people who were, shall we say, commentating on this, wondering why a guy who is a self-professed inner geekdom and Star Wars player had decided to test his hand in singles. So, folks from This Week in FCL, do I have everybody's attention now? Does it really seem like I am just an inner geekdom player? Absolutely not. I know my stuff, and I will continue to go forward and prove to everyone in FCL why I deserve to be here. Not just in Inner Geekdom, not just in Star Wars, but in singles. Thank you very much.
Hey, I love the PSA moving forward. But Shimo, it was a pleasure to meet you, and I can't wait to see you compete in a match again.
That's always a pleasure.
I gotta say, you know what I mean? I might have my problems with the guy, but the guy could talk. You know, I like what he said. I like what he says.
He really does. There was only one question I didn't get to ask him, and when we meet again, I will. In his promo, he switched to a different language. And I was curious, what language was that?
It might be best that we don't know.
It was powerful.
It was. It was good. It was good. The man is good. I appreciate him. And you know what? I also appreciate everybody who's gifting the subs. I saw Tim Sim gifting some more subs to the channel, so we appreciate you, Tim Sim. Again, that's how we keep this going. That's how we keep this going. So we appreciate that. We appreciate that in totality. So I'm interested to see these two again sometime down the road. Obviously, both of them showed what they brought to the table today, that they are more than willing and ready and able to compete at the highest of levels in the FCL. 19-18 was the final score of that one. So if you missed it, you'll obviously check it out on the stream later on. But coming up next, we have a massive match, our main event. We will talk about that and so much more after this break here on the First Class League FCL5. We'll be right back, guys.